a little bonus view here on a little bit of the Planet Coaster. So we're going to take a look at this. All right.
He muted himself.
Oh,
Yeah, I
He's
muted
streaming.
myself so I could restream this. Yeah. But yeah, I've got the Cedar Point stuff.
yeah. I was gonna say because that's all.
Which one is it to go vertical again? God dang it.
What you type in there, Moondog?
E.
Is it
Is
E
it
to
E?
go? No,
Is it E?
rotates
No.
that way.
I don't.
As we get, all
I
right,
don't ever use the free cam, so I don't know.
there we go. So that's the entrance to the park. Park has grown a little bit. Flowers, plants, and trees, and
Oh yeah.
self-done fountains that don't exist.
Tigers and bears.
Oh my.
Here's the part that
Wow, I got
BP.
a lot bigger since last time I saw it.
Here's the part that BP is going to like. All the flowers individually placed.
That fountain's nice, man. It looks good.
That's the other issue I have with games too. Is I'll get a game and I'll like just pour myself into it, and then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I'm done, and I won't even be like halfway through a game or something.
Well, I get like that with some games. Like that's why I like sandbox games, because I can just say, all right, well, that's enough of that for now, and then not play it for 2 months and then come back to it. You know.
Well, like farm sim, I'll start a map and I'll get like halfway through. I'll get to where it's going decent, and I'll be like, okay, I'm bored, and then I'll be done with it for like 6 months. Then I'll go back and start a new map and play it for like
Where am I at here? Okay.
for like a month, and I'm like, okay, I'm bored again.
See, farm sim for some reason I get annoyed with it, but I never get to the point where I don't want to play it. I still like, even though I'm not like actively making videos right now, I still play Old Ridge every day. I was just on Drummer today for about 4 hours. You know, I still got Estancia Lapacho. I've got Upton. I've got 2 videos of Upton ready to go. I just got to render them. You know, so I still play it every day, even if it annoys me sometimes. And Estancia Lapacho is annoying the shit out of me right now. I just want that fucking sugarcane to be done, because I'll never plant it again.
I just get so bored driving up the field and down the field and up the field and down the field.
Well, and clearly, Draco, farming is not for you, is it? I mean, geez, no wonder you don't ever play with us anymore.
Sugarcane turned out
See,
to be
that's
a
why I
mess.
like F1. There's twists and turns. You have gas and brake strategies.
And see,
If they make a good F1 game someday, though, I'd be much more into it.
This one, I don't know. 2017 is better than like most of the other ones. You have your old classic cars too. Makes it a little bit more fun.
Which is nice, but
I guess that's why I kind of like
Drive
games like 7 Days to
Senna
Die.
and Schumacher's car.
GP3 was, in my opinion, the best Formula One game ever made. I had that game until it physically stopped working on Windows. Like, it's, you know, you go to Windows 8 and it's like, no, you're lucky I ran on Windows 7, because I don't know nothing about this. So, and it was too bad. But
no, I guess that's why I get like games like 7 Days to Die and Ark and Empyrean.
Ark.
It's mostly because I like exploring and the building, and
oh, there you go.
not so much the fighting, but I enjoy the you know what's around the next corner or what's over this hill. You know.
Inside the castle type deal.
Oh, looks good.
And
Moondog, you're not gonna find a hamburger inside the castle.
Gotta have those priority passes. Those priority keys.
Unless
yeah,
it's the
yeah,
White
I've got,
Castle.
yeah, it's over there. Yeah.
Unless it's the White Castle.
Moondog built White Castle. He's in there looking for a hamburger. I will gladly pay you.
You won't
to
find one of
stay
those at
for a
White Castle.
hamburger today.
Do I not have this open? Come on, I want to ride the ride.
Just test it.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm doing.
Wow, he's ignoring us, Dan.
I am not ignoring you. I heard all the comments about White Castle and everything else. I'm just not responding to it.
Therefore, you're ignoring it.
Okay, yes, I'm ignoring it. So because it does have the Cedar Point, and Cedar Point is one that my wife and I have gone to several times, and I mentioned it to her, and she goes, "You know, we haven't gone in a couple years." putting on the Raptor, which they have in the game, the actual roller coaster, which is
Yeah.
her favorite coaster there, is really cool.
Yeah.
The coaster that she hates worst in the world is the Dragster, which they also have in here, close to, where it's just 125 miles an hour, then straight up the hill, and then loops over and comes back down. Oh my God! If I even mention it, I'm getting chopped right in the throat.
The last one, yeah. You know, it's funny. I don't know. I am not a coaster guy, right, by any means. I just put a boomerang coaster at Fantasy Island because it fit the theme. I called it the tsunami. It fit the whole sort of theme of the park, right? But I couldn't tell you. I don't know that. Like, yep, it's cool. It's fast, and the little people freak out on it, and good enough for me.
Right.
Oh, by the way, BP, you sort of misspelled typhoon.
Shut the fuck up! I know, and not one of you motherfuckers could tell me that after the video came up, and I went back and watched it again, and I'm like, oh, on the thumbnail, it's one thing to spell it wrong in the description, but to spell it wrong in the thumbnail, you look like a massive idiot. And I'm thinking to myself, well, okay, there you go. I'm actually, it's bothering me to no end. I've made another video, and I'm gonna take that one down and put the new one up. I just couldn't believe it. I had a hell of a time with Typhoon. I'm like, how the fuck do you spell it? At least I knew how to spell tsunami. Oh,
Yeah.
You know how to spell tsunami, but you don't know how to spell typhoon.
shut up.
So I have room for another park, a couple of rides over here. I have to flush out this one with, all sorts of stuff in it. Trees and stuff.
I was just gonna say, the thing about like most like real roller coasters, especially big ones, there's not much theme in it. It's just all trees.
Yeah.
Stuff that they can get to and take care. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
No,
I think it looks better with just a bunch of, unless you really want to go over the top with theming, but
no, it's flesh it out. It's got to have surrounding. It can't just be on a green.
yeah,
thing.
because it just
It's
looks
gotta
like
have-
it's placed there. Yeah.
Yeah, it does have to have trees. There's some other stuff, but it's not going to have like little army dudes saluting and stuff like that. I mean, this has a little bit of trees around the ride with the cars. Once you catch up to that,
Well, now that I've annoyed Moondog and BP, I think I'm gonna head off to bed. I'm back, guys.
You'll annoy her in bed too, I bet.
Hey, you've done your job. My job is done. I can go now.
And
I'm
then,
back. Did y'all miss me?
yeah,
Even
this
though
What are we
you
talking
left.
about again?
this little section here that you catch up to. And Draco, if you're taking off, good night.
Good night, guys.
Good night, Draco.
Night, Draco.
So you guys are seeing the raft thing and stuff, but you're coming over to this food court. Now I did it before like the Tuesday night stream or something last week. I had this and I had a plan of putting a deck up on top and then having seating up there. Why can't you do that? You got to have a raised platform or sidewalk. It's like, and then it's got stuff coming down underneath it for all the supports. If you have a raised portion, it's like, that's the one thing I'd like them to work on is getting, second story.
Oh, the
Boring.
paths are pain in the ass. Well, you can turn the path supports off.
But then you turn it off for everything, and I want them in certain areas.
Do you have lights in the area now?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So
You have lights at the food court?
I do not have flights of stairs. Come on.
No,
Don't-
not flights. The lights there.
Oh, the lights there. No, I don't have all the lights in yet either. I do have cameras because I have turned this on, and the first thing I get hit with is pickpocket here, pickpocket there, pickpocket here,
I turn
pickpocket
all
there.
that shit off. It's so
I'm like,
annoying.
I'm like,
That's
okay.
security bullshit. I turn all that off. I can't be arsed with it.
And I'll tell you what, then the next thing they go is the main food court area here next to the castle and the one roller coasters. If there's 1,500 people in this park, they're all in this spot.
Yep.
And I figured out why. Oh, there's no other food anywhere else. Okay.
Right.
So I started progressing with stuff like that. So yeah.
Remember when
important.
before they fixed it, and if you had like, I always cap my people at 3,000 just so it doesn't lag out too bad, but I'd have 3,000 people at Looney Balloons, right?
Yeah.
before they fixed it. Thank God they fixed that. The new staff management thing is all right. I used that a little bit today on Fantasy Island to see how it worked because I actually built a staff room more just to build it than actually use it. Because I wanted to. I have a little corner where I have a little sort of like stand there and watch it kind of attraction thing. And it looked kind of empty, so I'm like, oh, I'll just build up some facades in there. And I'm like, let's put the staff room in there. Why not? And we can build that up a little
You
bit.
can't test that. Can't
Yeah,
test the go karts.
no, you got to actually ride them.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah, because
No, you can. Oh yeah, you can't. Yeah.
you got to open
What's
the
the
park.
cheat? There's a cheat to drive them though. What the hell is it? Oh, I don't remember what it is now. Shit. I don't
But I
remember.
thought it was pretty cool. It comes out and it through the trees. It's long course. It's not like short and tight stuff. And then back underground.
See,
Couple
I'd love to do.
hairpins.
Can you maybe do one lap so I can see it?
Well, I will actually have to do one once I have everyone open and running. You know what? I actually have. Wait a minute. Let's just do it this way. I have a save that I have open to test things. So let's load that
I'd
one.
like to. I haven't built a go kart track because I never build parks where they would fit, like not fit physically, but fit thematically. Like, like the tropical Fantasy Island's kind of tropical. I'm not quite sure how go karts would fit into that. But the adventure pack has a boat ride, has two boat rides actually. One's like a flume, right, like the
Right.
river rapids, and one that the track will actually go in the water that you make. I'm like,
Okay.
yes. Oh, can't wait for that because I have a perfect spot for that.
You have a perfect park that's developed
Oh,
around it.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So that's gonna be great. Can't wait to get that. And the crocodiles, like all the Aztec shit, whatever, I'm sure I'll find a use for some of it. There's a million little scenery pieces in it. There's about 52 new animatronics too, which is really cool. But the alligators are the best. I'm gonna do a little hook like Peter Panish thing, I think, somewhere because it's too cool not to.
So as you can see, there is a ton of people down through here, and definitely not enough lights at nighttime.
4,000.
Just
Got a park rating of 2,100. Well, you would with all those rides, yeah.
yeah.
I only have 5 rides in Fantasy Island, and our park rating is like 1,400. I think.
Okay, so you have go karts running.
Yeah, don't go. I'm gonna go make a cigarette. Hold on, be right back. I don't want to miss the go karts.
Boy, this hay pellet production.
How to keep a BP around? Go karts in 10 minutes.
Could do a different ride while he's.
Yeah. So this is the yin and yang ride, and they loop in between each other. Let me zoom out on it. So they go up simultaneously. They come down and they loop around and they go back and forth. It's getting ready to go, so we'll jump in here. Come on, let's go.
Oh, I see somebody got busy with the coaster chain feature, huh?
As soon as it was available, I started doing that because
I still haven't.
Cedar Point has Gemini, where it's the two coasters that are right beside each other.
Oh, cool.
That they don't do as much as the intermingling as these two do. I actually came up with the perfect name for it, yin and yang. So
I haven't done anything with it because I don't. My parks tend not to have enough. Like they're not. Actually, I could. You know what I could do, and I may do this actually because I'm still toying with the idea of building a volcano. And there's lava in the new adventure park, so I don't have to like make it myself out of fire and stuff.
okay, well that's cool.
I may. I want to do. What I want to do is I want to have like I don't have a weenie in the park so much yet, so I want to have a volcano, and with the two the coasters that launch you up the hill and then drop you back down again.
Right.
I'm gonna put 2 of those next to each other and do that on a coaster chain. I think. We'll see.
That sounds sort of cool.
Through the volcano and all that,
Right.
If I can, the terrain tool is it's all right. It's not.
It's not as, to be funny, not as nice as say Roller Coaster Tycoons was. I mean, you could control smaller blocks with it.
I was just gonna say it's hard to make shape. Like I can pull up a mountain, but then to get it in the shape of a volcano is a little difficult. So you end up just sort of filling it in with rocks and all that kind of stuff. It's a decent ride. I built a big Woody on Fantastic Forest. That was fun. That was the first roller coaster I ever actually built instead of just getting it from, Blueprint or whatever. They changed the way the little people drive the go-karts now too.
And in a good way or a bad way?
Well, I don't know. I guess it's better. I guess they can like spin out now and stuff.
Okay, that I've actually seen, I think.
Like instead of just following one path, they'll actually go, wherever, and they can crash. And I've never built a go-kart ride because, like I said, I don't really have none of my themes sort of fit it.
I worked at a putt-putt and go-kart place, so I have to have a go-kart track somewhere.
I love go-karts. I like the fast electric ones. There's a place near me called F1, well, not near me. It's in Boston, so 60 miles away, but called F1 Boston. And it's those super fast electric ones where you have to wear a helmet. You have to actually get in a racing suit and everything. And you have to go to, you have to do 20 laps on slow and then 20 on medium, and then they turn it up.
Okay.
And the only way you get to go full speed in it is if you're a professional driver. So.
Professional bus driver?
No, professional like race car driver, because they go like 100 miles an hour.
An hour. Okay.
But I tell you what, at 40, which is the fastest as a civilian can go, the track, because it's indoors, and after a couple of cocktails, because there's always a bar, there's of course a bar there. 40 miles an hour on that thing is pretty quick.
We have a outdoor cart that just opened not too long ago. Actually, I guess this last summer. It opened right like 40 minutes away from my place, and the car's there, which is so nice. Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that you have it, but it's a little disturbing. You'll catch it here in the stream. The one kid off to the left, just barely on the screen, they have to go to the bathroom, so they're quite literally holding it.
Yeah. You see that a lot.
I'm like, okay, I understand. I don't have enough restrooms in the park either, and you've probably been in this line for 2 hours.
He's probably been outlined for 2 weeks. Like Tsunami, my coaster I just built at Fantasy Island, the queue is probably a mile long, right? And people being that, like I opened a park just to get people in so I could take some screenshots, and then I closed the park, and it still took an hour of real time for them to get out of the park. By the time they finally got off the ride.
I'd hate to find out how long it would really take for them to get out of here, because it took forever for them to get to the other side of the park, and that's even with the tram. And I was like
this one
getting
here.
notices that the tram takes forever.
This chick with the green, well, they all have green sweatshirts on, but the third chick with the green sweatshirt on, like she's just about to piss her pants. Why would you get in the queue? Why wouldn't you go to the bathroom before you got in the damn queue?
Well, because probably Moondog only put 2 bathrooms in the whole park that are open,
Nice. My park is a 10th of the size of yours, and I have 6 bathrooms.
Yeah, well, I'm
That's
working
I just
on
need buildings. Like I just need buildings to fill in little like gaps and stuff. And I'm like, well, a lot of them are nothing, but some of them are actually things. And I'm like, well, you know what? If you're going to put a building here, make it useful.
Yeah. And that's what I wanted rides in. Now I'll finish with buildings and stuff that work around and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's how I do it too. I always build a ride first and then put all the stuff around it.
Yeah.
Especially with like track rides or anything like that. You don't know how much room you're actually going to end up needing. So it sucked to try to fit a ride in where you want it after you've built everything around it and find out it doesn't fit.
So that's why there's all the rides in before I even start with any buildings.
Yeah.
Because, okay, well, I had room for a ride there, but now I put this one building and now I can't get the ride in there at all.
I mean, now you can turn off terrain collisions so you can kind of do different things with rides and stuff, which is nice. It's nice to be able to, like what I've been doing lately is if I want to put a ride in a mountain, which I'm kind of known for, I will build the mountain, I'll plunk the ride in it, and then I'll just push the terrain away from the tracks as I go. Because then at least I have the basic shit. That's what I'm going to do with this volcano, because it takes too long to build these things to mess around with trying to get a track through it. It's easier just to be able to drop the track in, let it clip through the terrain and then push the terrain away as you go along.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the whole line in here for this ride here as I move around. Headed over this one. There's a few people in this line.
Yeah, there's a few.
Yep, just a few.
And there's a priority pass line, and no one's using it because for whatever reason with the price, they go, oh, it's not worth it.
That's the other thing. the priority pass, right? You'll get people that buy them and then complain about they're not much use to them, or you'll get people who say, "Well, priority passes are for suckers, or it's not fair that rich people can skip the queue." Rich
Yeah.
people. I don't charge for my rides. I run a theme park like a theme park, right? I charge an entry fee, and then all the rides are free.
Yeah.
Right. So like Fantasy Island right now with its 5 rides and a fair bit of theming is $50 to get in, and all the rides are free. A priority pass is $15. I think that's fair, especially for a ride like Tsunami, where you're going to be in that queue probably till your next birthday. You know, considering the time compression in the game, right? So,
Yeah, I have a little price just because I wanted to see what it was, but I'm like, I've gone to Cedar Point. You pay $90 to get in.
right, and then
You pay for
ride
your
all the
food and
rides.
your drinks, but you can be in as many rides as you can get in that the lines will let you get in.
Right. Right. That's how I've never been to a theme park that charges you individually for rides. Now, well, having said that, there is like Six Flags New England, which is not too only about 20 miles from me, has a couple of rides where you have to pay for it. One of them is this bungee cord job that launches you up in the air. Right? They charge you $35 for that. And I'm like, and me and Brittany went, and I'm like, I got paid to do that in the Army.
Yeah.
I'm like, here's $50 if you want to go ride it. They charge you for that. There's one other one they charge you for. It's like $15, but you get a picture and stuff, and I think that's why they charge you. But most theme parks, yeah, you pay at the gate, and then you're done. You buy food and whatever.
The only ones that you don't is like the county fairs, where you go in for the county fair, and then you're paying for rides, and you can still get a day pass. Then
you buy the tickets or whatever. You get that little card that's worth X amount of whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something something I'd like to see them do is give you the opportunity to set a overall price that if you're going to run it as a management thing, which would then not have all your little people say, oh well, I paid X amount of money to get in the park and all the rides are free, so your queues are 17 miles long because the rides are free. Because they don't, like, there's no thought process behind it. You know what I mean? They don't say, oh well, I paid $80 to get in the park. Once they pay it, they forget it. And then all the rides are free, so there'll be 10,000 people on each ride queuing up. I'd like them to be able to give you an option to set an overall price that would affect their way of what rides they'll ride and how long they'll wait in a queue and shit like that.
Right.
Because it is nice. It's kind of an empty park is kind of sad. That's why I open mine up every so often, just to have some people in it, give it some life. But I don't build it for them. I build it for me.
Yeah, I mean, the Rapids line here. There's no line here.
Yeah.
There's people on it, but there's no line.
Well, the good thing about those kind of rides too is that if you can pack those with cars or boats or rafts or whatever.
Yeah.
Like a log flume, like Typhoon Key, right? I have 14 little cars on that. Now that's got a massive queue and it fills up pretty quick because it's pretty popular. But it's a long ride, but it goes pretty quick because 14 cars, 6 people per car. They come in the station, every 30 seconds, so the line is always moving. It's really long roller coasters that fuck you up.
Yeah.
I can tell you what I just did and made a poor decision. I'm babbling, sorry.
Oh.
Okay.
If you've got a roller coaster that you can only have one, like you didn't build a station long enough, say, or whatever, right? And this happens to me a lot. And you can only put one train on it, and it's only got 6 cars on it, and the ride is a half a mile long. Well, you're gonna end up with a massive queue. That's a cool thing right there, where you have the splashdown right under the path.
Yeah, I had that all thought out the whole time I was doing this section.
That's cool. Like if you're standing there, you're getting wet.
Oh yeah. If you don't realize what's going on, because that you've got that family that they're talking about, oh, it's hot, it's cold, and they're complaining with each other. They're walking along to the next ride, and then all of a sudden, splash. That is.
I wonder. It'd be nice if they reacted to getting wet too.
Yeah.
Like maybe they shivered or maybe they laughed or whatever. Because I have a lot of water in my parks. I like water, so there's a lot of water in my parks, and a lot of my rides interact with water in some fashion or another. Like this, boom! That's a huge splash. Like those people would be drenched.
Yeah. and drenched for a long time too.
Then they could give you like the little, one of the little utility buildings with like a changing area, or
Yeah.
I don't know, towels or something.
Was
There's
it
a lot of things they could do.
was it Roller Coaster Part 3 where they had the swimming pool and all that
Oh, I don't know. I
in the
never played.
water?
I never played a roller coaster game till Planet Coaster. I never played any of those park
Yeah.
building games.
I'm
I,
thinking it was that one, and that one was pretty cool. So
I would like to see the ability to build a functioning like a water slide. Is that the word I'm looking for? Water slide. Yeah.
yeah,
That would be cool. I mean, there's a lot of like non-functioning ones out there people have built, and they're really neat. Like I'm gonna probably build one myself. But it'd be cool to be able to have a functioning one or a swimming pool. Now, I get it that the animations and everything, is probably a pain in the ass.
right.
It would be cool to have some sort of functioning. Oh, ride's bro. I'm like, did you put smoke in there? No, ride's broken.
Ride's broken. I can't. I can't
That's a
get
cool
anyone.
station.
I can't get anyone to ride this ride. Get into it.
A little too extreme for most people, maybe. You got quite a. There's some people riding it, or sitting there waiting to ride it.
Well, no, I mean this one that where it's the drop off here. I gotta sit. Want the next car up there. It's just there is no one for this ride. I know it. Just where's the extremes on this? Where is the ratings?
Click the little arrow on that tab to the left of the where you're clicking now, and it'll say show test results.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Beers 8.21. Yeah, that's why no one's riding it.
It's a little high.
And the barf rating's up over 4.
Yeah.
But, if I throw it in test mode and then jump on it. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, the shitty thing is if your fear is that high, it lowers the excitement.
Yeah.
Like you want to get that. If you get that fear down to about 5, probably, your excitement would probably go up a little. What the fuck?
Joe fall asleep.
I think Joe fell asleep.
Is he snoring?
Yeah.
Oh, he's now officially a part of the monkey show. He's fallen asleep on his microphone.
I'm just going to mute him just so that we can hear past it because that's starting to get as bad as my snore.
That's fantastic.
So.
Yeah, I made a poor decision. Decided to make those hay pellets.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna happen again.
It's slow. It's a slow process.
I think it's the hang that
somebody killed the
them.
pig.
Somebody fucking record that.
I could put it back up there. Had him.
Poor
It's Zig's channel.
Poor Joe. He's been working on airplanes all day while he's sick and feeling like crap and jumped on to fly with us and then fell asleep.
Actually sounds like a prop plane going down.
He does, doesn't it? It's running. It's running. No, it's not.
It's like trying to start it and then it just somewhat goes in.
Oh, we got it. Well, the hang time though is not probably the issue. It's probably that right there, that massive swoop
Drop and swoop. Yeah.
Yeah. If you straighten that out or made that a little bigger, that's probably really extreme.
Yeah.
Well, turn on your heat maps. It'll tell you.
Oh, that's true. That's wait a minute. Where is that? That is
underneath in the testing menu.
Yeah, heat map. There it is. And then under.
Just put on the fear and see where the fear is the highest.
And it does it by the track or what?
Yeah. On that drop down where it says visualize.
Yeah, fear. There it is.
Put that on fear.
Oh yeah, I think I found the. All right, so
Yes, yeah. It's that swoop. If you extend that out, make that less sharp,
yeah,
that'll cut it down.
and you can see it just tracks for
Because
half the ride. Then,
because the drop is good. 541 is perfect.
yeah,
People like that. Yeah, that whole section of the ride just freaks them out.
yeah. So that's fine. I'll work on it. Now, this one is called the Raptor, and it's actually a someone did it on the workshop, so it's not the actual one.
Can somebody mute him, please?
I muted him on my end.
Yeah, I muted him on my end too.
Hold on, I gotta mute him. Oh, Joe.
Or wait a minute. Can we do this? We'll go. We're not being mean, but we're just gonna have to move you. Or everyone's got to mute it.
Put him
Then
down to
Yeah, I
AFK.
muted him. It's fine.
We just
Yeah.
go all up to general.
Just put him down in the you don't have a now you need a Joe sleeping room like I have a Roy sleeping room. I fell asleep. I was talking. It was pretty late. It was pretty
I was
late my
wondering
time.
how
so-
that room got there.
Yeah, it was pretty late my time, so it was really early his time. And he was working on G, and I was just hanging out. And next thing you know, he got really quiet, like really quiet. And he didn't say anything for about 20 minutes, and I could just hear, like, he doesn't snore, he breathes. He's like, I'm like, he's asleep. Like, that's awesome. So I made a room and I moved him down there.
Hey BP, since you got on the topic of go-karts, I just threw this in here. Just for you.
Okay. Well,
It's not the outdoor track, but it's their other facility that's an indoor one closer to my place.
so this has been the park. I'm just gonna let this end here as these folks go on the coaster and just I don't know who's gonna watch it, but that's the park. That's the update. That's what I've been working on.
Yeah, it looks good, man.
So
Looks good. Yeah, I gotta do a little bit of I'm gonna probably do a little bit of something on mine. Even since Typhoon Key was done, I've got some more stuff done.